Welcome back to the Mowers Club with Scope and Missile. Thanks to Winghouse, the best seats and beers always guaranteed. It's been a massive show so far, Scope, but it just gets better. We've got the captain of Newcastle, most good judges would say, the form player of the NRL for the back half of the season, Kalyn Ponga. Welcome to the Mowers Club.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
How is the body, Kalyn? A week removed, obviously, from the elimination game against the Cowboys, mate, and you were outstanding in that game. I guess you've been, everyone has been giving you compliments through the week and well deserved. But now that you've had roughly 6 days to sort of debrief, soak it all in, what's the feelings around yourself personally and the reflecting on the season for 2024, mate?
It's been a busy few days, to be honest. The last week's been pretty busy, but I will sit down eventually and have a look at it, and I think I'll be pretty proud of not only my efforts but the team's efforts. I think a lot of adversity throughout the year. You know, it's a long season, but to come home strong and put ourselves in a position to, you know, I think we should have won that final, but I think I'll be pretty proud of it all.
Has there been any contact from Mal Meninga in the past week?
My phone's been quiet. So,
I will say...
I haven't looked...
Yeah, sorry, Kalyn, finished?
Nah, no contact. No contact.
I will say a big part of the golf day, and we're going to chat to Kalyn about the golf day a little bit coming up. A big part, I had this big cloud looming over the golf day, and I've got a number of players that are in contention, and obviously Kalyn's going to be a big part of that. And I got our very own Jimmy Smith to reach out to Mel throughout the week and go, can you please confirm that the boys have got the day off? And they do. So they play, I think there's a Prime Minister's game following the grand final, which is different from normal years as well.
Right.
Normally it's at the start of the finals.
Gotcha.
And then obviously the Pacific Championships coming up. Are you available, Kalyn? Because there are a number of players at the back end of the season will be nursing injuries off the back of a long season, maybe some plans because of.
Are you saying he's available for golf or for Australia?
Well, I know he's available for golf. He's a big draw card for the golf. But are you available?
Priority.
Yeah. Are you fit and available to go if Mel was to give you that call, mate?
Yeah. Pulled up sweet from the game. Coming back from my injury, I've had no niggles or anything, back half of the season, so that was good. But yeah, no, I'm fit, fighting. I wouldn't say I'm probably too fit right now, but I'm fit. I'm fit and able.
I saw a photo of you with one of the great dribblers last night, Cooper Johns. Is that a reason why you're not feeling too fit today?
Mate, he is one of the all-time greats. He is. Mate, he does it. Yeah. I got caught with him yesterday. Haven't seen him for a while. It was just a couple of beers at the local. That's what it was.
Up at the John.
Anyway.
Was that at the Johns Estate on the Northern Beaches or up in Newey?
Yeah. Northern Beaches.
Yeah.
So he was just showing me around. He looked after me.
Yeah, he's one of the greats, Coops. We had Gutho on earlier on the show. We had two players playing in the golf day too, by the way, KP. Carter Gordon, the new convert coming over from rugby union, and Gutho at the start of the show. Mate, at your place, do you have a lawn? Are you a big mowers? Because this is the Mowers Club, mate. This is the Saturday morning mowers. We're just wondering if, for some of the listeners, if you've got any tips for the lawn. Do you have a lawn at your place?
I've got a lawn, mate. The house, I'm actually doing some renovations on my new one, and I'm actually going to have to look into it a little bit more, mate. So I might have to get some tips off you boys.
Ask Gutho. Gutho had all the tips. He's a big lawn guy.
I think I'm entering into that stage of my life.
When Gutho was talking about it, sorry, Kalyn.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
When Gutho was talking about it, mate, that's one thing that he said. He goes, I feel old just talking about it. And I think it's one of those things that when you start maturing into life and you start
caring about your lawn,
you start caring and thinking about the yard, then that's just a bit of a milestone in your life, isn't it?
There's stages. There's definitely stages, and the boys that are proud of their lawns are proud of their lawns. So I can't wait to join the club. I guess I'm excited for that next stage of my life.
Kalyn, I just want to delve into a little bit the back half of the Knights season. It has to be overall a success for the Knights, right? Another finals series. But What was your focus that back part of the year? Because you went on this run, same as you did last year, where you just had the hot hand. No doubt all the Cowboys would have spoken about in the week leading up to that finals game was you and how to shut you down, but they could not stop you. What was the secret to your success in that back half of that year?
I reckon it's more so off the field. Like, I reckon it's a lot of the during the week, just making sure I get my mind right. I know what I like to tick off in terms of like mental prep leading into a game, and then when I'm away from footy, just doing what I like doing. Like, I reckon a lot of it's not so much the 80 minutes on the weekend. It's that mental preparation leading into it, and I get into a rhythm. I know what my week looks like. I know what each day looks like, and I just sort of fall into rhythm with it all, and just making sure I'm focused, and just obviously enjoying my footy. And I think the team's performance allows me to perform that way as well. And I think that we were building throughout the season, but we just couldn't quite put it together, and then we just found a way at the back end there. But for me, I just get into a bit of a rhythm with it all.
Did you think in that game, maybe you guys were just a Bradman best short of beating the Cowboys?
We're probably a 30 centimetre pass.
I wasn't going to bring it up.
I reckon we're about 2 inches.
Yeah.
It's tough. It was one of those games where either team could have won. It was won on a small moment. But I mean, both teams. It was one of the toughest games physically. But yeah, I think it could have been anyone's game.
You can hear in your voice, Kalyn, that it still hurts, doesn't it? Like we're 6 or 7 days removed from it now, but you can hear that you sort of feel like, man, you had a really good chance in that one, obviously.
Yeah, I think 100% we should have won. We were 2 inches away from that. I'm not going to get too angry, but we sort of looked at that game and looked at the possibilities. If we had have won that game, what would have been next for us? You obviously want to make top 8, you want to make finals, but you also want to go deep into them, and that's probably something that we haven't done. And that's our focus. I reckon that's something that we will probably emphasise in the pre-season, is but let's not just be happy making the 8 now. Let's try and go deep.
I've got one for you, Kalyn. At the start of the week, Matty Johns, and this is a huge statement. I don't know if you'd heard this yet, mate, but Matty Johns said you are the best buy, and he didn't say it lightly too, because he speaks about the influence that Ben Kennedy had at the Newcastle Knights. You are the best buy that the Newcastle Knights has made or has purchased. How does that make you feel, mate? I don't know if you'd heard that yet. And considering some of the great players that play for Newcastle, that must mean a lot coming from the Johns name.
I haven't heard him say it. Someone else mentioned to me that that was said. Look, my time's not done. You know what I mean? For me, I shouldn't rate it or say, but I want to win a comp. For me, anything short of that, isn't a great buy or isn't a success in a way. So, when I'm done at the club, then hopefully I can look back at my career and people can look back at my time at the club and say that I was. But for now, I don't feel like that's, I don't deserve that yet or have earned that yet.
We've got a heap of text messages coming through from listeners, Kalyn. I just wanted to ask you, so Cam's texted in and said, can you ask Kalyn what he said to the group after the loss to the Cowboys? There's been a lot made of that speech.
I said two things. It was when they scored their second try, the game was pretty much done. There was a minute left on the clock. I just sort of grabbed the boys in, gave them a big hug, and just said, we've got to be proud of our efforts, not only tonight, but through the whole back end of this year. We've been counted out that many times by that many people, but the resilience in this group, that's the reason why we put ourselves in this position, and we should be proud of ourselves. And, we obviously lost the game, but like I said, we could have won that. So, that was kind of the feel and what was said after the game. And, it was just disappointing the way we went out, really.
How many rounds of golf are you going to get in between now and October 3rd, mate, for the big Levels Rugby League Golf Day coming up?
I reckon, however many days there are, there'll be more golf games than days. So.
Oh, that's
love
preparation. Just on preparation
I don't know.
Yeah, keep going.
The more I play, the worse I get. So I'm not too sure how I'm going to approach the next 2 weeks.
Well, similar to Carter Gordon, he's trying to
fudge his handicap.
Yeah, because everyone's aware of the Stableford system, so
blow
everyone's trying to blow it out.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to say I'm guilty, but mine's gone up 2 strokes in 2 weeks, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. And I do love it again. I'm back into it. Perfect timing. Obviously, the big golf day and off season, so I'll be spending a lot of days on the golf course, I think.
Dunny on the text line said, Kalyn, you're looking quite thick nowadays. What have you been doing to work on the peach?
Who said that?
One of our texters. Can you give us, I did notice in that Cowboys game, actually, you're looking so strong in contact at the moment. Has strength been a big focus as you've been rehabbing from some of those injuries at this point in your career?
It's all in the hips, boys. It's all in the hips now. It's all in the hips. Nah, I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really changed anything. Obviously, when you're younger, well, for me, when I was younger, I didn't really care too much for gym. I just wanted to play the game. And then as you get older, now it's more of a tool to sort of prevent injuries. And obviously, I know you have to be strong, but I think breaking tackles is a mindset more than if you want to break a tackle, you'll put that little bit more extra effort in.
Did you used to find that scope?
Yeah, that's probably why I never broke tackles.
Can you ask Cooper Johns if he had that mindset, Kalyn?
I had the mindset that I was 100% going to get tackled every time.
I haven't really changed too much. I think our strength and our performance unit at the Knights now, we've had them for a couple of years, and I think they're doing a good job. But it's mindset maybe, strong hips.
Yeah, I love it. Could you get Cooper to text us through a career stat line for tackle breaks throughout his illustrious career? I'd like to see that if he's still with you.
No, he's at the races today. I'm sure there's a few there. Probably have a
few in that pre-season comp maybe.
I was with them all day yesterday. I've had enough of them.
Yeah, happens.
Well, Kalyn, I want to thank you for joining us on the Saturday Morning Mowers, mate. Rest up. Enjoy the weekend. I'm sure you'll be watching the game tonight, Manly versus the Roosters, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks, October 3rd, Concord Golf Course, Rugby League, Levels Rugby League Golf Day.
Beautiful, mate. Thanks for having me on, boys.
There he is, the Prince of Newcastle, Kalyn Ponga. What an end to the season. I'm still amazed by that game against the Cowboys, Scope. That was one of the great performances, the individual performances. He was a one-man wrecking ball. Carried that team on his back entirely.
Can we think in recent history? I'm trying to think back to last year.
Hayne 09.
Hayne
09, Barber 2012. That's the areas.
In terms of a performance where they still lost the game, but he was clearly the best player by yards in a game. Were there any teams that went down last year where you can think, man, that single player left everything out there, but that team still lost?
Yeah, hard to say. I mean, there's been ones with Teddy in recent years.
Yeah, for sure.
Leave it with me.
Yeah, we'll have a think about it in the break.
0457 736 736. We're almost wrapped up here on the Mowers Club. One more seg to go.